First entertainment news that Dawn has completely derailed this feature the last 2 days, but now we're going to get to it. It is all but miraculous that entertainer Roy Horn of the Siegfried and Roy combination is alive and able to communicate.
It's super.
After being bitten in the neck by a 600-pound tiger, his doctor said yesterday, I have to sneeze. Oh, no.
Look at the light.
Now, does that make you sneeze or make it go away?
I don't know which one, but either way, you benefit, right?
That's the idea.
Rob, take a deep breath through your nose. It will either kill the sneeze or make you sneeze.
I think it's gone. Thank you both.
Way to go.
Horn, that's Roy, was able to move his feet and hands and is responding to treatment, according to Dr. Derek Duke.
I hope he can move his feet and hands. The damn thing bit him around the neck. It didn't rip his hands and feet off.
Arnie!
Roy remains in critical condition with a severe neck injury. He did lose a large amount of blood in the attack and later had a stroke.
Oh, God.
Dr. Duke, though, confirmed that the rumors are just that. Roy is not in a drug-induced coma. It's one of these awful rumors that's going around. Longtime manager Bernie Human. Oh, you know there's something. There's a little triangle there.
Why is that, Rob?
Because Siegfried and Roy are gay.
So there's obviously a triangle.
Yeah, we need to point something out.
Is that confirmed or is that alleged? Have they ever actually...
No, they are super gay.
I know, but have they ever said, yes, we're gay? I mean, because they make all these neat little comments about each other.
Don't they make out on stage? Isn't that part of their theme?
The closing act.
No, they right, because that's what all gay people do. I'm almost positive it's nothing that I think a long, long time ago. They lived together. They're a team. They're a couple. They're in love.
They are partners, if you will.
They love the German Frankfurter.
Yeah, see, Vegas accepts them, all right? Vegas doesn't get all freaked out that there's two men that are lovers living together.
3. Bernie Human,
stop it.
longtime manager, expressed optimism that Roy will recover, but wouldn't comment on whether Roy suffered any brain or spinal damage. And then Bernie put his foot in his mouth, which I'm sure wasn't what he was hoping for, and said that the show was canceled. He said it forever. He said there will be no more shows. So now they're going through the spin. They've released a statement where, well, we don't know. It's canceled indefinitely. The show will be back. It's not coming back. There's not going to be any more Siegfried and Roy.
That'll be their biggest trick yet, is getting him back on stage with those tigers.
Oh,
One
man.
of those things attacks me. I don't even go to a zoo anymore. I don't even drive near a zoo.
You can't just do it with Siegfried.
Siegfried.
Whatever.
You could. Nobody comes to see the guys, okay? Just a quick note. You go to see the tigers. In
Yeah,
fact,
and real quick,
where is that
I'm
story?
not going to be going because one of these tigers already went nuts on stage. What's going to prevent now one of these tigers from leaping out into the crowd and eating me?
That happened at a rodeo once. This bull jumped.
We're not talking about rodeos.
Seriously,
Stop
it
it.
jumped into the arena.
Did it bite
into
anyone?
the stands.
Did it bite anybody?
No,
Did
it kind of
try
like
to
jumped
eat
the
them?
stands and then went over
Make
to
her
like where the
stop.
guys line up for the team roping.
That's a little different. See, they're just exacting some revenge from getting shocked all the time.
They don't get shocked.
Don't start. Don't start. We're about to get to that, and I don't want to hear the garbage from you or anyone else about what we do to these animals in any of this situation. Don't start. You'll have a chance to start spewing your hate in 2 minutes, and I will shut you down immediately. There is a book out that talks about the fact that when you pull these people, and I don't know where the story went, they go to see Siegfried and Roy, they all say, we don't care about those two, we're there for the tigers. So they could do it. I mean, Siegfried could do it if they need the money. Siegfried and the Tigers. Hotel officials announced Saturday the show has been closed indefinitely. The employees are told to go find jobs.
Oh, man.
The tiger is quarantined. What was his name? Montrose or
something like that.
Monteballo?
Some gay name.
Montecore, there it is.
Monteball.
Whatever.
They can't name him just Steve.
Really?
They can't say, hey, this is Steve the White Tiger.
God.
Hey, remember one of these guys is named Siegfried.
Stop it.
Speaking of Siegfried Fischbacher, yesterday he said of his partner Roy, he's the strongest person in the world.
Stop.
We'll get through this together. Yay!
Rob, he did not say yay.
I'm sure he'll recover completely. He's over the worst.
I'm by his bedside every night.
I'm over him every night.
Stop it, you guys. Of course he is. Wouldn't you be for your wife?
Yes, I would.
All right, then.
But would you be wearing a nurse's outfit?
Hate the sin. Oh, my God. That's so wrong. Hate the sin, not the sinner.
There you go, Dawn.
Oh, my God. Get out of the studio.
There it is. Oh, it is a Jesus theme today.
Oh, what is that?
I'm not even sure it's a sin. I don't know.
I see. You have lost all of those hardline. You backed off on heaven. On what
Well,
is it?
there is somewhere we go. There is a God.
Way to
Hello.
take
Las Vegas.
I just don't know if there's actually like a heaven with gates and all of that and rooms.
Ask Roy soon.
Hello.
Arnie.
Brian, good morning.
Yeah, is there any way we can get this on videotape?
We're trying, man. We
Stop
have
it.
all of our birds in the air.
Sick.
Somebody has got to have videotaped this. I know they probably don't let videos into the show, but come on.
Disgruntled security employee who sells the security tape because you know they got cameras rolling in there.
No.
They probably have to have every show documented just to see if anything happens.
Come on, and there is a picture on a phone somewhere. Don't tell me they banned cell phones.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So you know what? I bet there's a few, and they're holding out for the highest bidders right now.
I'll give you
the
20.
dealing's going on.
$20 I got.
I got 25.
All right, $45 for that photo.
$45.
It's in a casino. There's got to be cameras in
I
there.
just want to see his throat in the tiger's mouth.
See,
That's
that's just
all I
wrong.
want to see.
See,
I want to see the dragging. I want to see if his
No!
body is like lifeless or if he's flopping around.
You would think he would know what to do.
Yeah.
Like punch him in the snout or something.
Well, that's how he
or-
got into the trouble. Remember, he bopped him with the microphone.
see, this is how well respected they are. Seriously, because you're right. There are cameras everywhere, and those lights, they're everywhere. This is on video, and this is how much respect they have for them. They are keeping it under wraps.
Oh, it'll be out
It'll
soon.
be out.
Don't even try to kid everybody. This is going to be out because this would be the most downloaded thing. This would surpass the Pamela and Tommy Lee video.
Oh my God!
By me alone.
If it's good video, if you're getting blood squirting and stuff.
Oh my God!
you
Or
know-
his body getting thrown around.
You know what? They're probably waiting to see what happens to him, which way he goes.
Hello, Trevor. We already know which way he goes, Don. There's no question.
Okay, that's
He goes
just-
the other way.
Stop it.
Trevor, what's up?
Hey, they always roll tape on the Siegfried and Roy show. They tape every one of their.
Well, see, look, I mean, in that sense, Dawn's right. The Mirage isn't going to release the video. We've got to find somebody who can infiltrate the Mirage video banks and steal it, or find an independent copy like the phone camera thing.
How cool would it be to work at the Mirage right now? Because you know they're watching that in the break room.
Every day.
Just laughing
it.
hysterically. Here
Oh
he goes
my
again.
God, he
Ha-ha-cha.
Maybe they're splicing it together to music. That's what's taking so long. Oh, that's terrible.
You couldn't even finish the sentence before buying it back.
So wrong.
NBC was all set to go ahead with a weekly animated show for next fall featuring Siegfried and Roy and their white tigers. It was going to be like Shrek on Saturday mornings. John Goodman was going to be the voice of one of the tigers, and two unknown German actors were hired to play the animated Siegfried and Roy.
I'm betting they had lifts.
The project is on hold. Meanwhile, in an unfortunate bit of timing, the brand new issue of Vanity Fair, which hit newsstands the day after Roy was attacked, has a review of Siegfried and Roy's act in which they quote that book I told you about and talk to people who confirm they're only there to see the white tigers. And then there's this line: many people view the Siegfried and Roy show just like NASCAR. They actually show up hoping that just once either Siegfried or Roy will be consumed by one of these flesh-eating mammals.
And those people at that show that night were the lucky ones.
So there you go. That's
Stop
in the new
it.
Vanity Fair.
Oh, man.
Did you already go over, and you might have, the day after this happened? What are they doing with the tigers? Not the one, the other tigers. What's going to happen to them?
Well, they are not saying, because they're still doing the show will come back someday thing. And keep in mind, these tigers are their pets as well. They slept with them and all that. So the tigers right now are at the Siegfried and Roy compound, being cared for as always, and we'll see what happens when they cancel their show.
Can you imagine if like a bus full of fruits did go to this show to show support for
Shut up.
Siegfried and Roy, and they saw this?
Oh,
man,
lots of
candlelight
crying.
vigil.
Stop it.
By the way,
Rainbow Warriors were out in effect that weekend.
Cut it out.
Siegfried will be on Larry King's show tonight as well. Hi there, Clint.
Hey, I just came back from the Bay Area, and no idea if there's any truth to it. Another radio station got a caller saying that Siegfried was going to be bringing video to Larry King.
Oh.
When is he on?
Why?
Tonight.
Why
When
would
he,
you
oh my
do
God!
that?
Oh my God!
Really?
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, but is he bringing the video or is he bringing video? That
Video.
stupid thing
Yeah.
we keep seeing with Siegfried
Really?
on the tiger's back and
Because you
all.
tell me if this happened to somebody you love, you're going to put it on TV.
I
Give me
would.
a break.
I would
Well,
in a second.
You're
And-
sick.
Wait a minute. Clint was in San Francisco and he heard a radio station talking about, they're pandering to the crowd. Okay, so
Okay, that's sick.
they're thinking a whole nother kind of video.
He was listening to WSPR.
Stop
W
it.
Super.
Stop it!
Rob, is there a tiger involved in your video as well?
No, I'm sure in everyone's fantasies.
The best of Rob, Arnie, and Dawn.
I can't wait for the movie to come out, the life story of them.
What? The movie?
You know they'll do one. Lifetime for sure.
Oh, a stupid TV.
Yeah.
Those aren't
Oh,
movies.
Jim J. Bullock starring as Roy Horn. Fabio as Siegfried Frankenfurter. And the voice of John Goodman.
Will Vin Diesel be playing the manager?
Stop it! He is not gay.
Tom Cruise has got to get a part in
He
this movie.
isn't gay either, Arnie.
Oh.
All right, let's get this over with so Dawn can spew her asinine remarks and we can move on. Now, look, PETA's in the news about this. Let me tell you. This is what I hate about this society we live in. The fact of the matter is I'm a tremendous animal lover, but zoos and circuses and rodeos and even animal parks, most of them, and SeaWorld, okay, we are, as human beings, taking advantage of these animals. And I get so tired of hearing all these stupid explanations that we're not. These animals were born to be in the wild. That's what they are meant to do. We are abusing them. Okay? I'm fine with that. That's the difference. I admit it. I say we are the dominant species, and if we're going to take a certain amount of the animals and use them for our entertainment or our betterment, fine. That's our role as humans on the planet, as long as we don't eliminate the species in the process, which we're not doing to bulls or tigers or anything else. Okay? These animals are meant to do things that we're not making them do. That's the fact. You can spin it all you want. But the problem is, we can't come out and say that anymore as a society. Because if Siegfried and Roy came out and said, look, you know what, the fact of the matter is, we've taken these 600-pound tigers, we've taken them out of where they want to be, the jungle, where they would do what they're bred to do, which is hunt and procreate, and we're putting them on stage every night, and we know that's cruel, but we're doing it to make a lot of money, entertain you, they'd be run out of town right away.
Oh, absolutely.
They wouldn't be able to admit it. And that pisses me off. It pisses me off that we can't just be honest about it.
And Rob, actually, to take the joking out of it, people who do that for a living, you're going to get bit. Like Steve Irwin, the crocodile hunter, has been bit tons of times. People professional people who handle snakes for a living always get bit. It happens. It's going to happen.
It does happen. And do you know why it happens? Because the animals don't want to be treated the way you're treating them. That's why animals attack. They're either, if there's an alligator, it's because you're prey. Anything else, it's because they're scared or hurt. All that other garbage is just that. It's garbage. You can spin it all you want, but every biologist and every animal expert will tell you it's garbage. The animal's not going to attack you unless you bop it, unless you make it angry, unless you make it afraid. Then it's going to attack you.
Look at these elephants that go crazy at circuses when
That's
they get
right.
whipped.
That's right. Now, you don't have to like it. Those are the facts. And we should admit it and be fine with it.
I have not been to every single rodeo. I have not worked for every single rodeo company. So my view on it, whether it be right or wrong, obviously it's going to be wrong in the eyes of Rob and everybody else he just, referenced. My own personal experience, again, and it's not worldwide, is the reason they act out that way because there are those that are treated poorly. There are those that are abused. There are people that abuse animals in rodeos and circuses, and everything that you mentioned, that is absolutely correct. There are. There are those that are treated extremely well because this is how the people make their money. If the animal is not well fed, if the animal is not well taken care of, it will not do what it's supposed to do. Therefore, no one makes any money.
It's all spin. It's all spin.
I've seen it. I've seen how they're
It
treated.
doesn't matter.
I have seen firsthand how they are treated. I've seen horses that
Irrelevant.
actually buck. That's what they do. And putting the saddle on a horse like that, that's the cruel part. Letting them actually buck and do
irrelevant.
that is letting them do something natural.
No, it's irrelevant. I'm sure the tigers that Siegfried and Roy own are treated very well. It's still cruel. It's not where they belong. I could take you, Dawn, and lock you in my home and treat you extremely well. It's still cruel.
Not really.
These animals are bred by biology to explore, to procreate, to conquer, depending on which animal we're talking about, to roam, to feed, to make other contributions to nature. I don't care how well they're treated. It's cruel to keep them. It's cruel. Horses were not put on the planet to ride. That's not what they are bred to do. We have bred them to do it. That's not what they're there for. No animal is. That's not the design of nature. And there's no argument over this whatsoever. The problem is you and people at the circus and people at the zoo want to get all defensive and claim these things, and it's all a bunch of garbage. It's a bunch of spin. There's no such thing as treating an animal well that you have taken out of its biologically natural habitat. Great. I'm glad you're not kicking it. Good for you. You're still abusing the animal. Just admit it.
So anyone who owns a pet, a dog or a cat, is cruel?
Yes, absolutely. The whole point is that. And I'm fine with it. Like I said, I understand that. The dog and the cat are not bred by nature to live in small little confined homes and be put on leashes. We do that for our entertainment. It is our right as the dominant species on the planet is the argument that I will make to you any day of the week. I just want you to admit it. And see, in that case, I'll go toe-to-toe with a PETA person and we'll never agree because that's their basis of the argument. They disagree. They don't think we have a right as humans to dominate the animals. Fine, they're welcome to that opinion. I'll argue that with them all day. It's those of you that want to defend SeaWorld and want to defend the zoo and want to defend the rodeo and want to defend the circus as somehow being kind to animals that are so full of it that I can't even give you the time of day. Just admit it. Start there, and then we can all discuss whether or not it's right.
See, the problem is that we can't look at it like that when we have a dog or a cat or animals at the zoo. Just because they don't beat it, they don't kick it, and then they say they're being good to the animals. Mm-hmm. We've defined cruelty to animals now as that.
Right.
Whether you mistreat it, whether you misfeed it, whatever you do to it. If you take good care of it, you pet it, you love it, you give it a good home, that's not being cruel to animals, and I agree completely with Rob.
If you are going to go ahead and... then none of us, if we're going to admit it's cruel, then how can we actually own the pet and do what we do? I mean, how can you then do that? Then we're going to have to. Mm-hmm. I mean, that almost makes every single one of us hypocritical. Wow, this is so cruel, but I'm going to go ahead and keep it as a pet even though I treat it well. Because Arnie's right. Under that definition, that is what has... And I probably cannot even argue what you're saying in the sense of this is originally what they're bred to do.
Right.
Okay? However, it's like, for me, crossing the line is when you are beating them and not feeding them and just totally having them starve and not,
fine.
Because look at us, we're cat owners. If we beat our cats and didn't feed them, that's cruel. But to me, the way we love our cats and hold them and feed them, that seems nice.
That's fine. I'm glad you tell yourself that. And if that makes you able to get up every morning, good, do it. But it makes you be a dishonest person. Because it is not hypocritical to say, this is cruel, and then to behave in the cruel manner. There's nothing hypocritical about that at all. It's acknowledging your behavior. This is a cruel thing. I acknowledge it. Then I say, nah, but you know what? I can. No hypocrisy whatsoever. The hypocrisy would be to claim that I'm not being cruel. I have no problem saying this is not what these poor animals are meant to do, but I'm doing it because I get to dominate because I'm human.
Okay, so loving your animal is cruel.
Loving your animal is a wonderful thing, but the basis of what we're doing is cruel. The fact that we as a society have taken these animals and put them in situations where in cats and dogs examples, we've domesticated them, yeah, it's cruel. And when we take these animals and we put them in certain traveling cages, it's cruel. You can tell yourself it ain't all you want. It is cruel, and keep using my example. You can do the same thing with a human. It's cruel. I can treat you great and transport you around in a little box and feed you the most wonderful meals. It's still cruel. And I'm okay with that.
I couldn't be. If I admitted what the truth is, I wouldn't own an animal. I would not own an animal. I would not go to a rodeo. I would find myself disgusting. Mm-hmm. I couldn't even live with that because of how much I love and adore animals.
Now you know where PETA gets their mantra from. And that's where I give them credit. At least they admit the truth. I don't, on this topic, I don't have respect for those of you that don't admit the truth. Just admit it, and then decide whether or not you have to react the way you're describing, Dawn, or whether or not you can say, no, you know what, we're human, We're here to dominate the planet, and I am okay with that, even though I understand that it means we're going to be cruel at certain times to certain people, things, species, whatever.
They've pushed the line of cruelty back to what it is. I mean, when you domesticate an animal, when you think about this, when you get a horse, you have to break that horse, correct, to be able to ride. Isn't that pretty cruel to break a horse of its natural feelings, of its natural intuition of being able to run free without anyone on their back? That what we're doing is we're pushing the line back. We're saying, instead of saying it's cruel to own these animals and keep them locked up in cages or your house or whatever, we're pushing the line back there, saying that's okay as long as we treat them good, and then all of a sudden get to the line of, okay, if we hit them or we misfeed them, that's cruelty.
And I hate to say it because I love pets, but love is the standard that we impose on animals and on pets. We impose on them confinement, and we impose on them our love. If they had their choice, if they had their free will, they'd be out running around the woods and eating birds and snakes.
That's right. And look, I love my pets, and I always have, but love is a great thing to bring up. These animals don't love us. That is a cognitive reasoning skill that we apply to these animals. Do they do the most wonderful, cute things? Absolutely. Isn't it amazing, those of you that own cats and dogs that are really good, you come home and you're in a terrible mood, and isn't it the way they seem to intuitively know that they need to jump on your lap and purr or bark? That's not because they love you. It's an instinctual behavior assigned to the animal based on my owner's here and I want their scent. That's it. I know it's really cool for us to assign our cognitive reasoning to the animals. It's so dopey. It's just all emotional crap that we assign to these poor little animals. And again, I'm okay with that. Thank God my cat can do that to make me feel better, because that's why I own him, is to make me feel better.
My brother's moving out to San Francisco, and I'm watching his cat while he's moving, and he's owned that cat for 5 years. And let me tell you, that cat is completely fine in my apartment. Doesn't miss anybody or care. He looks like he's lived there for years, and he responds to me like I've been his owner for his entire life.
Of course. Absolutely.
Well, the one I can at least admit, riding horses is for my enjoyment.
There you go.
I'm not sure of the enjoyment the horse. I think they're enjoying it because they're getting exercise, but
because they wouldn't get it without you.
Right. But I've seen horses out to pasture when you're not right. They're very fat and happy, and they wander free. See, that's nice. We're letting them be in their natural thing.
That's nice. We
right.
finally
That's their
do that.
natural thing.
Yes.
There are times you don't use them, and you know you're not. You just put them out in the winter. Normally, just go out, and do your thing.
Hello, Cherie. Well, and we'll get to the PETA thing here in a second. Go ahead, Cherie.
Good morning.
Hi, baby.
Hi. I just wanted to tell Rob that I totally agree with you 100%. But you know how we have those zoos that are like rescued animals?
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
Well, look, this goes back to the dog and cat conversation of, is Dawn cruel because she owns a cat? I think by the black and white definition, yeah. But here's the thing. We as a society have created this necessity to be cruel because of our domestication of dogs and cats. Right now, dogs and cats born in a house after a bloodline of 4 or 5 generations of German shepherds that have been domesticated, those animals are domestically bred now to depend on certain environmental things that are provided by us, the humans. It would be cruel to take those puppies and just throw them out in the woods because their mother wouldn't know how to teach them to hunt and forage. They would have to use their natural instincts, and they wouldn't know how to protect themselves, and they'd probably be eaten by a bear. So in that sense, we have created a condition where we say it's cruel not to own pets. But all we're doing is rewriting nature. Animal parks, where we do research and all those things, and we bring these poor pets back to life, I think it's really neat that we do that. But I think it is disingenuous to claim that there is still not a basic level of cruelty involved. Look at Free Willy. The best example ever. Free Willy, domesticated whale, used for movies. And these whack job animal rights people came along and said, you can't do that. I say you can. It's just cruel, and acknowledge it. You can't do that. Release him. How many stories have we done? And I don't even do the stories anymore. They keep trying to put this poor whale out in the ocean to fend for himself. He can't. He swims to shore to be with people, which, of course, kills him almost every time because whales need to be in the deep water.
He's looking for his agent. What kind of gig is this?
Okay, so those that own hunting dogs, they're probably being the kindest of all. They're having those animals do what they do. Hunt.
You're still looking for a level of degree, but you may be right. Hello there. Joe, good morning.
Good morning.
Hey, what's up, Joe?
Hey, I was wondering if it's still cruel if you adopt a pet, an animal that's been mistreated before.
No, look, this goes back to what I was just saying. The cruelty lies within us as a society for having made this a necessity. I think if you don't adopt that pet, it's going to die. But if you adopt it, yeah, sure, that's nice and all, but don't pat yourself on the back that I'm saving all these animals. We are part of a society that's created now this necessity. We have burdened ourselves if we want to take care of these animals for our own enjoyment. Just admit it!
Yeah, and you don't have to. You really, honestly, you don't even have to admit it. You just can't talk out on things that you think are cruel when things are going on with zoos or anything like that. That's the problem right there. That if you save an animal, we push that line back to where you're doing a good thing. It's still cruel to own that animal, but at least you're being nice enough to adopt it.
In the context of where we have brought animals, just like I think you just said, Rob, it isn't cruel. If you don't adopt that animal and you expect the dog, okay, let's put the dog back where it's supposed to be. That's cruel because they can't survive now because they don't know how because of years back that we have made them domesticated. So to say it would be cruel not to, no, it would be cruel. It would be. To say it would be cruel to do it, it's really cruel not to because of the fact that we've domesticated them. We're just going to expect them for the instincts to kick in. They're going to be able to run wild.
Nick wants to argue this rationalization, which is all that is. So.
I'm going to try to, but we are rescuing them from a situation we created for them.
Exactly.
It's the same thing.
Exactly.
It's the same thing as kidnapping somebody, hog-tying them, throwing them in the closet, and going, "Well, it's cruel if I don't untie this person."
All right. What's
right.
more exact? Okay.
Right.
So it'll be more. So that's just cruel. We're rescuing them from a situation we put them in. That's what I just got through saying. It is more cruel to not rescue them because at least they have a chance to live when you rescue them. Whereas if you don't, they'll die.
Well, this is
which is more cruel, live or die?
It is irrelevant to me. When you start arguing levels of cruelty, this is really not a conversation I'm interested in. If you're cruel, you're cruel. How cruel you are is irrelevant to me. If you murder, I don't care what degree at which you murder. Same thing. If you want to make yourself feel better, if all of you want to make yourself feel better by arguing your level of cruelty, fine. Go do it all day long. To me, it's an irrelevant discussion. It's all cruel. And we are contributing to it every day by our behavior. You want to do the totally right thing, we start reintroducing all these animals into the wild, let them be, and teach them how to forage through generations and never own pets. We outlaw it. That's the only way to not be cruel.
So all those animals would die.
No, you would have to, we would, because we created the situation, we would have to teach them through generations how, once again, to hunt for themselves and protect themselves, and a lot of them would die. But to do the right thing in the end, that would be how you would have to do it. And that is something I am totally against, because I say we're humans and we get to dominate. At least I admit it. Level of cruelty, please. I mean, if you want to feel better about yourself, that's fine.
It's not feeling better about myself. No, it isn't.
Yes, it is.
I'm not out rescuing animals. So no, I'm not trying to sit here and make myself feel better. I personally, if I personally have a personal opinion that if somebody thought, I'm not going to adopt this dog, I'm just going to let him die instead of adopting him and letting him live.
If you want to argue level of cruelty, go for it. And if you want to try to claim it's not about making yourself feel better, go for it. Doesn't make it any less true. That's all it is. You're still cruel. If you can somehow make yourself feel better, say, well, I'm not as cruel as I could be, okay.
I did not say I am not as cruel as I could be. I am basically saying it's cruel to let an animal die that you could otherwise save.
Sure.
So what you're saying is that I'm being cruel right now.
Yeah, there you go.
Because I know animals are being put to sleep today. I know dogs are being put to sleep today. I have a big house. I can go out and adopt a dog. I choose not to, so am I being cruel by not adopting that dog?
No, I'm not talking about you or anyone else.
No,
there are people that don't want to be dog owners. I don't find them to be cruel. People that don't want to own any kind of animal, I don't find them to be cruel.
But they're going to die otherwise.
It's not your job to go out and adopt every single animal. That's not what I'm saying.
But aren't I being cruel under that definition because I'm letting them die?
If you wanted to be a dog owner and seriously wanted to own a dog and you walked into a place and were given the opportunity, here, all of these dogs, every single one is going to die if you don't adopt one of them. That's what I'm saying, for people that want to own an animal.
But you'd be less cruel, so that's how you get to feel better about it. Yeah,
that's not what I'm saying.
No, that is what you're saying, and it's okay. I'm bringing everyone along, because there are so many people screaming out there that you're right, and you're all wrong, and that's okay. That's okay, but we're bringing you along to try to understand there's no such thing as levels of cruelty that in any way make it okay. Go ahead, Tony, what's up?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, guys.
What's up?
I was calling to let you know that's why we call the animals beasts of burden. You know, the horses, the oxen, and stuff like that. It was for our own benefit. We bred them for our own benefit to work for us.
Sure. I don't disagree with any of that. I just want everybody to acknowledge that that's because we are the dominant species, and we have decided that they are at our mercy.
Yes.
Exactly. Thank you very much. PETA, by the way, as I've said, of course, makes this all impossible to say. And that's why so many of you, by the way, are so uncomfortable with this, because we've been told not to acknowledge the truth. Because, like I said, if Siegfried and Roy stood up tomorrow and said, you know what, we've been cruel to these tigers this whole time. Oh, we've loved them. Oh, we've petted them. We've slept with them. We've gated but we acknowledge that they should have been allowed to be tigers. They would be castrated. They would be ostracized because of groups like PETA, who have now come out and said that Roy, of Siegfried and Roy, got what he deserved.
Oh, boy.
And released this statement. Perhaps Friday's frightening incident will make Siegfried and Roy realize that a brightly lit stage with pounding music and a screaming audience is not the natural habitat for tigers or any other exotic animals. The only natural thing that happened on the stage was that this majestic animal lashed out against a captor who was hitting him with a microphone because he wouldn't do a trick. Well, that's all true, but to say that he deserved it's a little much. Says, PETA, you are now in a position to show the world both that you have lived and learned, and you have true respect for animals by leaving them some shred of the life that nature intended. There you go.
Where would they all go? If we were going to do, obviously, I've read before in book. Obviously, animals, like the caller said, they're here for us. We eat them because that's for us. How do they benefit from us eating them? They don't. They die. Okay.
That's right.
Obviously, they are here for us, and that is why I think it's been inbred. Well, in me anyway, since I was born, they're here for us. That's their whole purpose. So, if their whole purpose really is to not, and I realize there are animals that are just roam and this or that. I'm not trying to get like too into it. Where are they all going to go? Okay, because we have overtaken the world. So there is nowhere for them to go to be in the. I mean, if you want, from what I'm hearing you say, if we really want them in where their real, true, natural habitat, pretty much doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
So we're just supposed to kill them all and just never let them be born anymore? Because I mean, what? Seriously?
We have created the cruel environment that we are now stuck with. Unfortunately, we use that as an excuse, by the way. There's plenty of room for the tigers, okay? Plenty of room to let the tigers be free, all of the circus animals be free, all of the rodeo animals be free. Plenty of room. Dogs and cats, not really plenty of room. We've created this horrific environment for them, and my scenario of actually releasing all of them would never happen anyways. And yes, we eat them, and that's right. And by the way, you say, obviously, they're here for us, and I agree with you, but that would fly in the face of the PETA argument. No, they're not. See, that's where that argument would come in. All I'm asking is for all of you to acknowledge that's right. We of humans have decided they're here for us, and we are going to take full advantage of them. So stop telling me you're not cruel to them. That's all I'm asking.
That's really hard, Rob.
Well, hey, I didn't say it was easy. The courageous thing is always the hard thing.
First, let me say I'm quite happy with the way things are now with animals. But secondly,
right, me
but
too.
Just to back up the point about Rob, there being plenty of room for animals. I've driven across country, moving from the East Coast, and I can tell you, most of America is a vast wasteland. The Midwest, the Midwest all grass. The West all desert. The East all podunk town, minus your big cities. The East all podunk towns and mountains. And if you look at Africa, 3/4 uninhabited desert. South America, uninhabited rainforest. There are all kinds of places in the world to be. And getting back to the Siegfried and the tiger, Siegfried or Roy, whichever one, I forget which one got attacked, deservedly so. He was trying to communicate to the tiger by means of force. The tiger communicated back to him by means of force.
The tiger broke through what Siegfried and Roy had taken out of that tiger and actually did the instinctual thing. He said, "You do not hit me with a microphone." He had a moment of instinctual breeding where he lashed out at the man. That's what they're bred to do by nature.
Has Jerry Falwell come out and said the same thing that PETA said, but for different reasons?
Blamed it on them.
The best of Rob, Arnie, and Dawn. Arnie 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 and Dawn.